Hello, hello, good afternoon. It's Monica from Life is Art, and this is the 5:30 p.m. 3:30 p.m. demo at the Summer Vacation Online Crop. It has been an interesting day. I hope some of you have had your internet restored. I hear it's coming back on for some of the Rogers customers, and yeah, thankfully I'm not using Rogers. It did affect my phone because I have a Fido phone, but not my internet. So thankful for that I could still keep going on and posting things on the crop and things like that. But I know some of you have been affected by that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave the deadline for posting for games and challenges until noon on Monday for those of you who had the interruption today. And hopefully that will give everybody time to get everything done that they wanted to do, and then we'll probably have to do the prize draw Monday evening, just because it'll take me time to go through and get everything sorted. So, yeah, hopefully it's all coming back on for you guys. If you're watching, just say hello or howdy so I know you're here. And we are going to be working on some stencils today. So I've got my all-purpose mat down on my table. And yeah, we're going to start creating. I'm out of breath. I don't know what I've been doing that got me out of breath, but I'm out of breath. Now, I notice I'm not really getting any updating happening here. So I'm going to refresh my screen and see if that will help. I want to be able to see. Yeah, see there, I knew. Hey, Shannon. Nice to see you're watching. And Levine. Yay. Everybody's popping on. There we go. Hey, Michelle. I knew there were comments on there. I just couldn't see them. All right. So now I know everything's working good. Okay. So we're going to work on some stencils. And the stencil that I'm going to be using today is a great big one. And it looks like this. And it'll probably be hard for you to see it because it's, on a black background. Here, let's try it with white. Can you see that? See all those fun little shapes on my stencil? And this is a 12 by 12 stencil. And you know what? I've even forgotten now. I looked it up, like 20 minutes ago to remind myself which stencil pack this was. And so I'm just going to quickly look in my catalog. This is from the core catalog. All our stencils are in there. And let me just see. Did I just go past them? Oops, maybe. There's so many good things in the core catalog. So if you're ever online and you want to take a look, this one lasts until the end of August. And a lot of things are while supplies last, because the new core, oh, there they are. I knew it was right near there. The new core catalog comes out the 1st of August. There's actually going to be a 1-month overlap between the two catalogs. So, yeah. So the stencil that I'm using is from stencil pack number 3. So you get the pack with these 3 large stencils. This one's really fun for doing summer layouts, with the sun rays and things. This one is fun for diagonal stripes, but you can also do a trick with it to make it into a check or a plaid type of thing by twisting, turning your stencil around. And then this is the one we're going to use because I think it looks so fun with the layout that I'm going to be doing. So we're going to use this stencil pack number 3. And just so you know, there are stencils coming in the new catalog as well. So, yay. Gotta love it. More stencils. How many of you are stencil fans? You like to use your stencils and create fun things? Let me know in the comments. we are going to be working with this one that's 12 by 12, and we're going to be showing, or I'm going to be showing, how you can use it to create a really fun pattern. So I'm going to be starting on my all-purpose mat here so I can, you know, get inky and nobody will mind. And I'm going to be starting with Sundance ink because it's such a fun summery color. Now I was talking with during Chat and Craft about how it takes a while because I'm going to be using 3 different colors, and I was using the entire stencil. So what I've decided, just for this demonstration, is that I will only be inking in the upper right corner. so that you don't have, you know, you'll get the idea of how it's going to work just by doing that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to ink my mini ink blending tool with some of this Sundance ink, and you just go over, and I like to go in circles, and I go clockwise and counterclockwise, and that helps just to get in between all the little crevices of the stencil. This one's a nice one that's fairly easy to do because it's not tiny detail, and there's lots of big wide open space in between. Sometimes the smaller and more intricate stencils, you have to be careful because the little points will try to grab onto the foam, and you know, you have to be a little bit delicate with them. But this one is a nice big one with lots of spaces in between. So you just go ahead and inky like that. And now if I was doing the entire page, this is where it would take some time. And this is what I was saying during Chat and Craft, that it takes some time because you have to clean your stencil. You have to wipe it all down, front and back and everything in between. But because I'm only using a little portion of it, I want to show you the feature of these stencils, and that is that we can switch to another color. So I'm going to grab my Candy Apple Red for the next part. I love our ink pads. Aren't they fun? They're a magnet, and for people like me with arthritis or people who are just frustrated with ones we used to have the ones where you had to push the button and then twirl, and oh, they were just a pain. So these are so much simpler. But this stencil, the fun thing is you can just pick it up and turn it a quarter turn, and look at that. It doesn't line up. So that means that you can now take a different color and you can stencil right over top of your previous color. You can see what's going to happen here. You're going to end up with a really cool pattern that all overlays itself. Isn't that fun? And I think this one is especially good because wouldn't this be great for birthday layouts, parties, even as like fireworks? We've all just celebrated Canada Day and 4th of July. And so quite often there's fireworks and things that happen with those kinds of events. So it's nice and kind of random. And then you can pick it up and you can turn it again. Now, again, as I say, if you were doing the entire stencil, you'd need to wash it off in between. Because I'm just doing this corner just to show you. Thankfully, I get a clean spot every time. So I'm going to grab my Bluebird next. And go ahead and ink with the Bluebird. And there we go. Look at that. The other thing that you can do is when you've got your stencil all inky like this, because there's ink sitting on the surface of my stencil from where I've gone around here, you could always spray it with water and do either lay the paper down on top of it or flip your stencil over it and lay it on paper and create some other fun designs with that as well. Wouldn't that be fun? So yeah, you just go ahead and I do clockwise and counterclockwise, and look how fun that is to layer all of those pieces on top of each other. And then you can turn it again and add another color or use the same color again. It's so fun. So that is the stencil from Stencil Pack number 3 in the core catalog. And so now I've got a nice little piece. I could use this for a card or just as a little accent piece. But I have, of course, gone ahead and done it on a full-size sheet. So let me just bring in my mat here so you don't have to look at the glare on the screen. And we'll get it centered. Oh, I just see that people have been commenting. Let me just take a look in case somebody asks me a question. Hey, Lisa. Yes, there is so much you can do with stencils. You can use texture paste through them. You can use stickles. You can use liquid pearls. You can use glitter gel. So many things can go through a stencil, right? You can even just draw through them like ye old stencils of the past. And Levine says she hasn't mastered stencils but have a huge collection. Gotta play with them. Get them out. Have some fun. Hey, Jody. Nice to see you're watching. And Mom's here. Karen's here. Hello. Good morning. And Lisa says I still have some of them, and the ones before that much improved. Yes, stencils have come a long way. I must say that stencils have come a long way. So let me just show you what it looks like when you do the whole page. Another thing that you will notice that as you layer some of the inks on top of each other, you can use distress inks on here too, you're going to get color blending, right? So sometimes where my blue has gone over my yellow, I'm getting green, which is fun. I think that just adds a whole nother layer to it. But isn't that so cool how you get all that fun design just by going over those stencils? So I've gone and trimmed just a little bit around the outside because I wanted to have a base page that was a different color and have that pattern on the inside. So I took a piece of 12 by 12 clover cardstock and I gutted out the center. And gutting out your center means that you take a big chunk out of the center of your paper so that you can add this second layer on top and not waste all that paper that's hidden by it. It's such a great technique. And so if you've never tried that before, it works best if you have a paper cutter that allows you to lift the blade up, put your paper under it, and then start cutting at a certain spot and stopping at a certain spot. So the blade, the Fiskars blade cutters, those are perfect for it, where the ones where you can flip it up and set your blade down. Plus, you have the ruler on there to know exactly how far your blade is traveling. Now, I don't usually demonstrate this on camera so much because my paper cutter is a rotary paper cutter. It does have the ability to lift the blade up, though. So I have to go close to where I'm going on each direction, and then I have to stop, and then usually I have to cut the last little bit with my scissors because there's no way for me to tell exactly where that blade is ending. So I go close to where I need to go. So I tend to leave 2 inches all the way around in order to have it nice and stable for a piece to add my second layer on top of. So I usually leave 2 inches if my second layer is going to be right near the edge. So this is about an 11.5 inch or close to an 11.5 inch square. So I left 2 inches of edge all the way around. So to do that, you put it in your paper trimmer and shift it over so that it's at 2 inches or 10 inches if you're going off this side measurement. And then you're going to start trimming at 2 inches down and go down to 10 inches down, right? And then you're going to turn it 90 degrees and you're going to line it up at the 10-inch mark on this side, and you're going to cut again, and then you're going to turn it 90 degrees, and you get the idea. So eventually you cut out the whole center. So that's how you do gutting out, which is fun and very useful. So now I've got my second layer, and I can go ahead and adhere it, but I want to keep in mind that there is nothing for me to glue to in the center. So what you're going to do is you're going to make sure that you get a decent amount of adhesive just on the edges of your page. All right? Don't even bother trying to put any adhesive in the center because there's nothing there to glue it to. You'll just end up with having your piece of paper stuck to your Versamat. And then you have to peel it off. And then you have to clean your mat. So you might as well just avoid that. I love the fun summery look of those three primary colors together, right? The red, the yellow, the blue. And even if you do a lot of going over it, you can get the red and the yellow to also blend. And then you end up with some orangey bits, which is fun. Now I'll just try and kind of get it on there straight-ish, like that. Lovely. Now we'll see if it's all in the frame. It is all in the frame. Perfect. Okay. Looking good. We're getting there. So I decided, since this was kind of a really fun background, I would use some photos from our camping trip that we took one time. And I believe this was to Bronte Creek, because we went there a few times. And so I have some photos. One of the things we like to do when we go camping is we like to bring some games and things, especially because the kids were little, the boys were little. My daughter wasn't even born yet. So we like to bring things that are kind of sturdy, like dominoes. We have plastic dominoes. And so they're great because even if you're not playing dominoes, you can use them to make towers, which is probably more what my boys did at this age than anything. We would also bring card games, although, yeah, we're on the risk of getting them wet. We have one Uno set that's specifically for camping now because it's been wet before, and, you know, the finish is coming off of it. You know, it's well used, but it's for camping. So there you can see one of our 12-man tents in the background. Later on, we actually ended up with 2 12-man tents. So we're just playing at the picnic table, and I thought the colors of this and kind of the design of the towers they were building and everything just work really well with this stencil. There's Justin, and he was thinking hard. He's got a domino under his chin. And there's Joshua working at figuring out how to build this tower. They're so cute. So I thought I would kind of play up the design in the background with my photos. So I have 2 3x4 photos. And then I also have 2 3x3 photos, right? So I could put them in a little square, and that would be nice. And it would probably look okay, but I thought, let's be adventurous, right? We're going to see if we can be a little bit adventurous with this. I'm going to see if I can turn my light just a little bit to get rid of some of the glare that's happening. Maybe. We'll see. It didn't do too much. But anyway. But I thought I would kind of play up the pattern. And the pattern here kind of reminds me of pinwheels, right? So I thought, let's add some matting under my photos. So I picked out 2 of the coordinating colors for my matting. So I've got some Sundance yellow to go under these. And I've just cut them 1/4 of an inch bigger. So 3/4 inch square. And then I picked out the same green from the outside to add under these ones, the 3x4s. So these are 3 1/4 by 4 1/4. So let's go ahead and adhere those. I think having the light there, it just makes it look weird. So scooch it over that way, and we'll just have to, just don't look at the glare. And I'm going to go ahead and add some adhesive to the back of all my photos all at once. Just like that. So who else here has been camping? Who's a camping fan? Let me know. I'd love to hear. In fact, I was telling the ladies this afternoon that our game later on tonight, give you a heads up, is telling us your funny camping stories, because there's always funny camping stories. If you've ever been camping, there's always something funny that happens. I was telling them about the time that Joshua here, he was younger than this even, and he lifted up a rock, and he held it over his head, which we thought was a bad idea. And then it slipped out of his hands and cracked him on the top of the head. Not really a funny story, but, in retrospect, we're like, wow, our kids were real smart back then. Let's just crack ourselves on the head with a big rock. It wasn't funny at the time. He kind of hurt himself, but he got over it. And then, you know, there's always the time that it rains and the rain comes in the tent, although we have been fortunate that we have not had to experience that. One time we were camping and the kids were getting pretty dirty, you know, playing around the campsite. So we thought, okay, we're going to go over, let them play. There's a little playground by where the showers were. Let them play for a while, get even more dirty, and then have a shower and get the pajamas on. Then we'll come back to the campfire. And they had built what they called the most epic campfire ever. And so they had spent, you know, an hour or so building this epic campfire. And so it was all ready to go, and we went over, and while we were in the showers, so I was in the shower getting one of the boys clean, and Sean was in the next shower getting the other one clean, and when we came out, it was pouring, like thunder, lightning, pouring down, torrential rain, and we were like, oh no, we left the windows open in the tent, and you know, the epic campfire is going to be ruined and all that stuff. My husband ran over in the pouring rain to go and close the windows. No rain was coming in, which is awesome. Hey, Shannon, and Robin's here too. Oh yes, the background. It's so fun, isn't it? Karen says, camp all the time, even when the You're brave going camping when you're 6 months pregnant. Yep. No, I didn't do that. But anyway, he ran over, and you know what? No rain was coming in, and the tent stayed dry, and literally 10 minutes after it stopped raining, they were able to light their epic campfire. So they were much relieved, and it lit right up, even though there was water in there. It all evaporated quickly, so they were very happy. So I've grabbed some of the pattern paper from the Beach Party collection, and this is a red and white stripe. And so this piece is, I've just cut it at 1/2 inch like a zip strip, and it's 10 inches long. And what I want to do is I want to line it up right in the middle of my page, and I'm going to kind of do it by eyeball, because you should always do everything by eyeball, and line it up like that. And then I've got a couple of 5-inch pieces that I'm going to use as well. Can you see where I'm going? I'm kind of going to create my own little pinwheel design here on my page. So these are 5-inch pieces of the same pattern paper. The back side is green with the little beach balls all over it. But what I want to do is, let me see, I'm going to put this about there. Yeah, I'm just eyeballing here. I want to kind of get it as even as I can. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to peel this one off, and I'm going to line this one up here, just like that, and it's going out to about the 5-inch mark there. And then this is kind of creating on the fly here. I have a general idea. Oh, I already put adhesive on there. I have a general idea of where I'm going, but you know, my plan might change as we go along. And then 5 inches down, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7. So we're at the 7-inch spot here. And, oh, I can't see around my hand. 7 inches, by guessing, by golly, about there. A little bit lower, that's okay. And then let's add these on. La la la. Creating my own little design here. You never know what's going to happen. And I'm going to kind of lay them on top of that stripe. So in between, there's just going to be a little bit of stripe showing, because I don't think I want all of it showing, but I did want it kind of sticking out the ends beyond where the photos were, just to kind of play up that pinwheel effect. So there we go. And then the top one. I love his little grin. It looks so cute. Oh. All right. And then let's add this one up here, and we're going to kind of leave an equal amount of distance of stripiness in the center like that. It's looking kind of fun. It's looking a little bit festive. And it's kind of playing up a pinwheel shape, which were all things that I was trying to accomplish, so yay. There we go. Put the last photo on. And then I grabbed my Picture My Life cards and I took a flip through them. And I found one of them that had an image very close to the the sticker sheet. On the sticker sheet, there's this little sign that says, "Welcome to Summertime Paradise." And I thought, that's not exactly the sentiment that I want. But the one in the Picture My Life card that I fussy cut out says, "Welcome to our family adventure." And I thought that was kind of suiting to what was happening here. So I think I'm going to kind of add it right about there. If you notice here, we have a little dining awning that we put over our picnic table. So I'm going to kind of line it up so it sort of covers up that. And I think I even want to add some foam tape to this. So let me just grab my foam tape. And we'll stick some on. We'll try to stick some on. We're going to stick it on the photo instead, apparently. And some at the top of the post. I like these little signposts. One of the funny things that happened on this camping trip, and I think I've told you this story before, was about our hiking adventure that went a little awry. So I think when I scrapbook a few of these pages together, this title will go very well with with the series of pages, our family adventure. Because, when you get lost on a road trip or on a hike, it's no longer just a hike or a road trip, it's an adventure. So let's take all our backing off. And we can stick this on there. Welcome to our family adventure. Just like that. How fun. And then I'm not sure what else I'm going to use on here. That's about as far as I got with my ideas. Now I'm going to add some journaling on here. And I think down here, kind of opposite the top. And I may even use strips of colored cardstock for my journaling. I might add a couple yellow strips down here, and then I can use black to do my writing, or I might use red strips or blue and then use my white gel pen, because that would be kind of fun. Let me just do something that I do sometimes. I'm going to add a little stamping block under there. Oh, that's so much better. It's a little bit hard for me to add things, but you don't have to look at the glare on that photo. But let's see, what have we got on here that would look kind of fun with this? There's a lot of stuff about swimming, like catch the rays, make you splash, just add water, all that kind of fun things. But we've got this nice little one that has the date, and that would be fun to add. We've also got this fun watermelon, which might be cool, although I think I actually have photos of us eating watermelon at this table. So maybe I'll save that one for that. But let's add a couple things. We've got sun cream. That's always good to have. We've got some sunglasses. We've got some swirly things. So let's just add a little bit. We're going to add our journaling down here. So maybe we'll add the date as well. Maybe just overlaid on the bottom of the photo, just like that. date. And then we've got our sun cream and our sunglasses. So we could add those in. I might even do those around the journaling. So let's add some thin foam tape to this one. I've got some little foam dots right here. Easy peasy. And then we'll have kind of a cluster created up here where we put our little sign. And then we'll have a little cluster created down here. So there's our thin foam tape. And then let's grab the roll of thicker foam tape and add some onto our sunglasses so we can kind of layer them up a little bit. And because they're all wanting to stick to me, because they have a little bit of stickiness on the back side of them, the trick to do with this is to de-stickify them. So I have my anti-static pouch that I use for embossing, and I just tap it on the back of my sticker, and I always keep it in this little bowl because see how all the starch just kind of falls? I figure why waste that? Let it fall back into the bowl, and then the little pouch will pick it up again and reuse it until such time as it runs out, and then I get another one. I've been using this one, probably 3 years, and it hasn't run out of starchy powder yet, so they last for quite a while. But if you do this, then it takes the sticky off the sticker. You de-stickify it so that you can now stick it down with the foam tape, which we left the backing on, so it's still sticky once I take the backing off. But the sticker itself is not going to stick down to the page, right? When it's in your album, it'll still kind of stand up like a die cut would. So there we go. We've got that happening there, nicely layered. And let's see if there's anything else. We've got this cute little sunshine. That might be fun. We've got little arrows. I love that they have different kinds of sunglasses too. Isn't that cute? So we've got our little sun. I think we could add this to our little sign somewhere. Maybe here. Or maybe here. Yes, I think right there. Behind our little welcome to our family adventure, a little break from the background design. I think that's looking really fun. And I don't think it needs a lot of stuff. I'm just checking. We also have these super fun rubber shapes that come with this collection. Let me get them out so you can see them. They are so cute. They're rubber shapes, so they're like bendy and flexible. There's little sunglasses and flip-flops and beach balls and the little stars. And I'm just thinking that maybe some of these would look cute on here. Maybe the little stars. We could add maybe a little beach ball. Even, I know we're not doing beachy things in these photos, but it might be kind of cute to have that around there. And then maybe a couple little stars added to this little cluster. And then down here, we've already got one pair of sunglasses, so we probably don't need another. But we could maybe add a little star here by the corner of our date. And maybe one down here like that. Very cute. I think those are just so fun. I'm going to have to do a layout. I know I have some pictures with the boys, and you can see their feet and stuff. So the little flip-flops, I think, would be so cute for that layout. So I think I'm going to stop there, but I think that is a super fun way to create background paper for your layouts that's customizable, because you can pick out whichever colors that you love, and you can do as much or as little of the stenciling as you want. If you want just really light stenciling, I could have just done once over the page, but just selected different ones to do the different colors. But if you really want to get it intense, you can just keep turning. You can flip it over. You could do it 8 times before you ran out of unique things, and even then you could just shift it and move it around. You could almost completely cover your page. So it's really fun. And then to kind of create your own sort of pinwheel pattern in the center was a fun idea. And of course, fussy cutting out the Picture My Life cards, adding in a few stickers. I'm going to add the journal strips, and so you'll see that when I post the picture. And also adding in these rubber shapes. And then, of course, at the very beginning, we had the center of our back piece, our green clover cardstock, gutted out. So we can use that paper for something else. In fact, I used it for the matting for these photos. So I hope you guys enjoyed that demonstration of how to play with those stencils and shift them around and use them to make things. And of course, then the beautiful beach party collection as well. Have a wonderful afternoon. If you're available at 7 o'clock this evening or any time after, just pop on and say hello and chat and craft with us during our time at 7 o'clock. And we will see you soon. Toodaloo. Bye.